Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's IT Live session presented by Global Lynx. My name is Ben French. I'm the Business Development Manager here in Global Lynx in Columbus, Ohio. Today, we have Vinny Sanfillipo with us for a virtual coffee. Vinny is the Columbus Campus Director of Tech Elevator here in Central Ohio. Tech Elevator is a coding boot camp with campuses in Columbus, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Philadelphia, and Pittsburgh. Welcome, Vinny.
Hi, Ben. It's nice to see you. How are you, my friend?
You very well, thank you. First of all, why don't you tell us a little bit about Tech Elevator, its mission and vision, and your role?
Yeah, so I'll start with me, and then we'll go to Tech Elevator, and we'll go from there. So my name, as you said, is Vinny. I'm the campus director of Columbus's Tech Elevator's campus. So Tech Elevator is a 14-week software engineering boot camp. Most of our locations offer both Java and .NET tracks. We were founded in 2015, and our mission is to elevate people, companies, and communities. We were founded as our founders are both from Cleveland. They were looking around and saw, the talent is here in Cleveland to code, right? Like it's around, and we have all these job postings that I'm sure everyone sees every time they log online. Like, wow, there are a lot of software development jobs open. Like, how do we bridge this gap? And so if we could find a reasonable way to train these people and get them the skills they need so that they can reskill their career and get into a better place. And so that's what they did. They launched our first cohort, and we've gone from there. We have a student-focused approach. We're demand-driven, practitioner-led, which means we are going to teach you the skills you need that you're actually going to use on the job, rather than a couple of things that might be great in theory but not so great in practice, as you may well know. And practitioner-led, we believe in empowering our students with real industry professionals who have gone in and done the thing, right? Our average instructor has around 20 years of experience in software development. So that's a little bit about us. Like I said, we have 14-week cohorts. We run 6 of them a year. One starts in January. One starts 6 weeks after that in February for our National Live Remote program. We have one that starts in May, one that starts in June, and then one that starts in August, and one that starts in October.
Awesome.
One that starts in September, one starts in October. Yeah. So those are all of our dates. Go ahead.
About how many students are in each cohort or class? What can people expect as far as other students in the class?
Yeah, so class sizes are usually between 18 and 20 students large. We are very protective of our 12 students to 1 instructor ratio. So each class is going to have an instructor and some kind of support or assistant instructor in there with them. So it depends. Now, how many classes are in each city depends on the size of the city and where that campus is at. Here in Columbus, we have 3 classes. We have 2 Java and 1 .NET.
Okay. Yeah, you mentioned, they're in Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati, Philly, Pittsburgh. Do people have to move to those locations in order to participate in Tech Elevator, or do you have virtual options?
Yeah. So right now, to be honest with you, Ben, we're all virtual at the moment. Even if you're coming to the Columbus market and you live here in Columbus, I put it as like, when do you want to come to school? How do you want to learn? And where do you want to work afterwards, right? Because we can help you pair with better options. If you're living in Pittsburgh but want to move to Columbus, we might want to talk about since we're all virtual, might as well talk about what that would look like. If you're not in any of those 5 cities, we do have digital presences in Charlotte, Detroit, Chicago, and Dallas as well, where we have large clusters of digital-only alumni who have gone through our National Live Remote program and have found really great success there. If you're sitting there like, well, I live in Des Moines, Iowa, or I'm not sure which cohort I should go to, we have admissions professionals that you can talk to, and we can help put you in the right cohort and right campus that's going to make the best fit for you so you can get that job at the end of the day.
Awesome. Yeah, I know you're located Rev 1 on Kinnear here in Columbus, kind of in the business incubator, a lot of tech startups there. Is it like that in all the cities where they're kind of located in that to kind of have that energy, the startup energy?
Yes. So, I'm a Columbus, Ohio native. I'm obsessed with our tech startup scene here and all the growth that it's seen. We are located here in Rev 1 Ventures. For those who don't know what Rev 1 is, it's an innovation and startup incubator here in Columbus. And we have a really great ecosystem here of many of our students have gone on to work for some of these startups. A lot of these startups get to participate and give back to the community. It's a really great vibe. And so that's a lot of what you'll see through all the folks here in Tech Elevator. or all of our different campuses are around a technical part of town, wherever that might be. We try to find those locations. Not every city has a startup incubator in it or anything like that, but we do try to position them ideally so it's both easy for students to get to, right? Like it's cool if the startup incubator is there, but like it's like, half an hour outside of the city. That's not really great for the student experience either. So when it comes time for us to see where our campuses are, many of them will be around that tech kind of vibe, around that innovation area in town. But they're also going to be, we also try to position them to be centrally located so they're easy for everybody to get to.
Awesome. So what I know, application development is obviously not an easy task. What is the process to be accepted into Tech Elevator? What skills can you expect to have to be accepted?
So one thing that makes Tech Elevator special amongst the boot camps in the world is that you don't need any coding experience to start your journey here with us. Like I don't have none of my tests or anything like that to get in require you to have any prior coding experience. Now, that being said, prior coding experience will certainly help you on your journey here, but you don't need it in order to get started. So our admissions process is super simple. You go online. We have an aptitude test that you have to take. It's 12 questions long. It'll take you 25 minutes. You can take it as many times as you need to. Once you get a passing score, you'll be invited to fill out and complete your application. Once you complete your application, you'll be scheduled in an interview for the campus that you applied for with either the campus director or one of our pathway directors, who are like our career coaches who teach you soft skills and communication skills as you go through the program. Once you interview with one of us, you'll take a longer aptitude test that's been graded by industry professionals and industrial psychologists to grade against bias as well, that will test your logic and problem solving skills where they are at that point in time. And then we make every admissions decision on a case-by-case basis as they come through. There's an active, lively discussion about each one as we go through about if they're a great fit and if they passed the test and what all that looks like. And then we go from there. And then you're
Awesome.
offered acceptance in the program, or we talk about some other options from there.
Great. Well, I know you said it was 14 weeks, but it'd still be your a full-time job, correct? It'd be 8 hours, at least 8 hours a day.
Yeah. So that's funny that you mentioned that. So when you go through Tech Elevator, we say it's your full-time job plus your favorite hobby at the same time. The average student, it is a boot camp at the end of the day. It's not like this leisurely stroll through the park of coding. It's hard work. It's a very difficult journey to go through the process here. So we don't recommend working while you're here. The average student probably spends between 50 and 70 hours a week here at Tech Elevator while they're working on all the different things, because you have lecture in the morning, you have individual and paired programming exercises in the afternoon and evenings, and then many afternoons you also have pathway lectures and workshops and events you have to attend to. That's how we teach you to talk the talk in the afternoon, so to speak, of becoming a developer. Like, you might be like, well, I'm actually pretty good at communicating, all things considered. I'm like, yeah, but do you know how to go to a technical meetup and meet other software engineers? Come on, let's have a pathway conversation about that, right? Like, we want to make sure you're set up for success so you have a long and fulfilling career in the technical community.
Awesome. I know you mentioned earlier how someone would be looking for jobs and they notice a lot of software development jobs. Like, wow. So how is Tech Elevator helping reduce the tech talent gap, the need for more developers, for more IT workforce?
Yeah. So, I mean, there are a lot of different ways that this problem can be attacked, right? Like, we're looking at it and you're like, wow, there's an obvious shortage of software engineers in the industry, right? And one of those biggest ways to do that is to reduce or to increase the top of the funnel. How many software engineers are there actually in the community, right? And that's where we come in, is that we create that, right? So if you do the quick math here, like just for Columbus alone, if I'm accepting between, I have run three classrooms here, 3 classrooms times 18 is quick math, like 54, right? Like, hopefully my math is correct there. So every cohort, I'm producing 54 software engineers. That's roughly around 180 software engineers a year that are entering that weren't there before into the Columbus market. Now, and then that's the one way that we're doing it. Another way that we do it is sometimes businesses partner with us to help reskill employees that they already have. Like, you might go to your boss at wherever you're at and say, I noticed we have a software engineering job open here. I'd like to fill that job if I just had some additional training. And Tech Elevator has provided that for businesses in the past, and we still do. So that's another way that we help influence the market and help us bridge that gap of technical talent here in the towns that we're already in.
Right. What I've noticed being in workforce development is a lot of people took the time off last year, maybe they were laid off from the food industry or other retail type jobs to do a career change. How do you work with these type of individuals to move into software development?
Yeah. So, I mean, there are a couple of barriers that come here, right? Like, if you're used to working like nights and weekends as a bartender, like that's just the way it goes. And that's a big one that adjustment right there from time alone can feel like a lot. But fortunately, many folks in the technical industry have been in your same shoes, right? Like it's your story is unique to you, but you also have some shared experiences with others who have gone through this. So throughout the program, we're going to introduce you to a variety of different alumni to help these folks through and to understand where they're coming from and to help them position themselves in the market where they can make that jump. And that the biggest barrier that I generally see for folks, especially coming from really any realm, is financing around the program. It does cost money to go to Tech Elevator at the end of the day, but there are a variety of different financing options that you can go that we have here. We have a couple of different loan options where we're preferred partners because they believe in our outcomes and they want to be a part of the solution. We have an income share agreement here at Tech Elevator as well, where you pay a deposit and you don't have to pay anything until you get a job making $40,000 or more a year, right? Like, and then we also have another great thing that we have here is our Represent Tech scholarship for folks that are underrepresented in the tech community. They can apply for it after they're enrolled in the program and apply for that, and that can pay for a great portion of their tuition coming through the program. And then, there are a lot of workforce grants out there right now as well, especially coming from COVID. And if you've been impacted by COVID, it significantly increases your chances to get those dollars if your employment has. And so we can point you in the right direction to apply for those grants. And some students have found some success there as well.
Awesome. Do you work with enterprises as well who are looking to hire? Do you have placement opportunities for when they graduate?
Yep. So we provide 180 days of career services after graduation, after folks are done. This is a big chunk of what myself and my pathway directors do, is actively look for opportunities, network with different companies in the community, and help make those connections happen so our students can have a faster track to employment. But we are audited every 6 months by an independent company called SIR, which is the Council on Integrity and Results Reporting. So you can go on there and see we have a 90% placement rate after 6 months after graduation, which is an industry-leading number for employment. And that's for people in the field, whether that's a software engineer or QA or BA, whatever route you decide to go leaving Tech Elevator, those employment numbers are real.
That's impressive.
Thank you. I know we're really proud of it. It's like my favorite thing is when the student goes from that bartender or barista or wherever they were before and get that offer as a software engineer. I get goosebumps talking about it. Like, it gets me up and gets me jazzed every day.
Right.
So that being said, we are constantly talking to new businesses. Towards the end of every cohort, we have a job search kickoff event called Matchmaking, where we organize this big interviewing event where students can meet with employers who are actually hiring. And many students receive offers from that process getting started right there. And yet there's a little part of it where me and the team look at someone going like, well, you told me you didn't want to work at a startup this entire time. So we're probably not going to put you at the startup here, but maybe this other organization is a good fit for you, right? There's a little of that matchmaking happening there behind the scenes to make sure both sides have a really great experience.
Awesome. Great. The title of the session you suggested is Why Tech is the Ultimate Career Move in Today's Economy. Explain that.
So technology is on the rise. I don't think I need to say that after the last year and a half, especially of like we're even having this virtually right now because technology exists, right? And the StreamYard app that we're using for this, right, represents thousands of jobs behind that. And it's not just software engineers where the tech talent gap is missing. So if you're sitting there like, but I'm really social. I don't know if I like coding. I don't know if I like have the logic for that. What other roles are there out there? There are so many, my friends, from the most social areas like technical recruiting or technology sales to the least social like back-end development or QA work. Like even those are inherently social folks. So if you think you're going to be a software engineer and not talk to anybody, it doesn't work like that anymore. But there are so many different roles out there in technology that if you're not thinking about this certain way, every single company out there right now considers themselves a technology company, right? Tech Elevator is a technology education company. If you were to talk to a bank out there, they're not going to call themselves a bank anymore. They're going to call themselves a fintech company, which is finance and tech. The insurance companies will call themselves insurtech. There was a big conference last weekend over this very topic, just around the software that goes around powering insurance right now, right? Like every company, even Kroger, considers themselves a technology company, right? So when you're going to think about how do I transition into a career that's going to be sustainable, how do I think about positioning myself in something that's going to have like, you know, that what's the word I'm looking for? That resilience of like, you know, if a pandemic hits, am I still going to have a job? Well, if you're working in technology, the need only goes up in times of crisis, right? Because we all like, let's talk about like Zoom or Slack or any of these other communication platforms that blew up over COVID, because that's the only way we could talk to each other. Like, and so as you're thinking about that, like, think about how you can be a part of that conversation with the skill set that you have. If that road leads you like, you know, I really want to consider software development, you know, let's have a conversation about that over here at Tech Elevator. But if not, we're all happy to point you in the right direction. Go to a meetup, go talk to people in the community, ask them what they do. You know, you might not consider a technical recruiter to be part of technology, but they 100% are. They're just the people that have the conversation to make those connections happen. But they're equally vital to the ecosystem as much as a software developer is.
Definitely. It's a good perspective there. You mentioned grants earlier. I know that the Tech Elevator and Global Lynx have kind of partnered up over the last year, and while your students have been looking for jobs, we've kind of helped give them some of our courses to complement yours in between, and they're getting free training. Have you heard any feedback from individuals from Tech Elevator who've taken our DevOps and ITIL type courses?
Yep, especially around the DevOps one. So I'm obsessed with your DevOps course as a compliment to what we do here, because at the end of the day, in 14 weeks, there's only so much we can teach you, right? Like that's how that works at the end of the day. And we already crammed so much into those 14 weeks that some things are mentioned or touched on, but there's plenty still to learn out there. So as you, with the DevOps course, like understanding how the operations around development works and how all those pieces fit together, while you might not necessarily get a role immediately as a DevOps engineer, it does make you immediately more competitive by understanding how all the pieces fit together, right? Like that knowledge alone has been incredible for my students who have taken the course, and every single one that I've talked to about it has not regretted it and recommended to other alumni who are still job seeking to take the course.
Awesome.
So like nothing but glowing reviews for you guys. Like you guys do a great job. We're really
That's great to hear. Well, I just know because I recruit for the courses, and when I see someone come through from Tech Elevator, I instantly know they're going to be on time. They're gonna pass their exam. So we appreciate you participating in our workforce ecosystem for sure. What else can enterprises and government organizations do to help reduce the IT talent shortage and help individuals move into the tech career path?
So I've noticed a big trend online, and I don't know if you've noticed this too, of an uptick in people making these posts around entry-level roles requiring a master's degree and 5 years of experience. But like, if you really want to reduce the technology talent gap, it's not enough to just train people, but it's to open up roles where they're going to have mentorship and they're going to be able to grow. Does that role really require 3 years of experience, or can a bootcamp grad with a little training do it for you, right? Like, do you really need a senior engineer to write unit tests? Like, I don't know if you do or not. Like, let's have those kinds of conversations where we can continue to bridge that gap. And a lot of there's a finite amount of senior developers in the world, and you're not going to just snap your fingers and make more senior developers appear. The only way to do that is to increase the amount of junior developers who become mid to senior level developers over time, right? Like that's the fastest way that we're going to get that done. So as folks out there are considering their hiring strategies, is one, yes, increasing the availability of different programs around there, you know, putting your employees through reskilling opportunities and then hiring them is a great way to do that. But hiring junior developers and creating those roles and thinking about how your team could benefit from having 1 or 3 on your team is a really great way to help open up the available pool of talent in the future.
Awesome. This is all great information, Vinny. We appreciate you stopping by and sharing. For anyone interested in looking into getting into technology industry and become a full stack developer, visit techelevator.com to start your new career. If you'd like to learn more about the Global Lynx IT Workforce ecosystem, visit wde.globallynx.com. We have free training opportunities. We look for opportunities with grants to get you free training. We have job opportunities listed. And feel free to reach out to me individually. My name is Ben French again. I'm Workforce Development with Global Lynx. Did you have anything else you wanted to add, Vinny, about Tech Elevator?
Yeah, so if you're really interested in attending or you just want to learn more, we do occasionally have an event called an open house, where we give you a really solid view of what you're getting yourself into and if it's the right fit for you. Our next one here is going to be one I'm leading on Monday at 5 p.m. So everybody who's working, you don't even have to have a camera on. You can just log in from your phone onto the Zoom link and just listen in. But I'm more than happy to answer any of your questions and just mention that you heard about me from here. And I'm more even if you didn't, happy to talk to you about Tech Elevator and help you get involved.
Awesome. Great. Well, thanks again, Vinny. Tech Elevator is a great program. And hopefully keep seeing you guys grow and get in more cities.
Yeah, I'm excited, my friend. As always, I enjoy our partnership and I'm so super grateful for all of the additional learning you're able to provide our students. I think we're doing some really great work here. So happy to be a part of this today.
Let me see if there's I don't think we had any questions from the viewers, so we'll call it a day from here.
Awesome, my friend.
Awesome.
Take care.
Thanks.
See you, everybody.
Yep.
Have a great one.
Take care.